morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are reaching, listening, chatting, engaging with connecting communities and more with Brian J. and Laura Lee with two E's. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Brian. How are you doing?
I am fan-frickin-tastic. Let me start with telling you.
Well, hang on one second. I just got to warn everybody that I'm holding this morning. So if you see...
Oh, yeah, because they're used to him.
Weird, yeah.
They're used to him being running behind you, not being beside you.
Yeah. So she's snuggled up. We'll see how long that lasts. So
that is so funny. She's like, I'm just letting you know there's a cat in here.
Yep. There's a cat in here.
Hey, so we have our very special guest today, the contact farmer, not contract farmer, but contact farmer, Mathew Firth. Mathew, are you here? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right.
Woo! It is a win. It is a win. Well, awesome. So there's a lot going on this week. Let me just start with saying, so back in March, like late March, right during COVID, I had ordered my lovely little shirts, as you can see, lovely little shirts, right, with the logo on there. And I was so excited. Sadly, I did not get to try it on. And I was peaking at that time from an extra large to a large. Like I was really tiny, right? For me, not for everybody else, but for me, I was like super tiny. So in that, I never tried on the shirt, right? And I'm like, oh, I'll just get an extra large. It'll be okay. Guys, always try on the shirt, okay?
Yeah.
Never not try on the shirt. It doesn't work. So needless to say, I was fat, right? So I could not get back into these shirts. Like they fit me in like my waist area, but my chest was just boom, boom, right? So anyway, long story short, in August, I was finally able to fit it in. So I was pretty excited. Looking at the picture, I'm like, oh, this is a great picture. So yesterday I tried it on again, compared my picture by picture. It was even better. Like there was no roundness. Like it was just straight. It was good. It was all
awesome.
Good. And I didn't even have to go, and take the picture really quickly, right? As you set up the camera on that angle, at that 28-degree angle, right? So
yeah.
We're excited. If you do need some promo items, you can always go back to our former sponsor, which is Kevin over there with Sky Market Rocketing. That's not true. Sky Rocket Marketing. There we go. So that's my good news is I've been losing some weight and didn't even realize it, which is always the best piece, right? Is when you don't realize it, which is awesome. Now, I like to call it, because as everyone knows, I have been divorced not once, not twice, 3 times. Okay. Twice the same person though, okay? Which, as everyone knows, makes me what? An excellent ex. Like, excellent ex. I'm going to start the ex experience. I come in, I wash your clothes. So this is what I do. I come in, I cook for you, right? I wash your clothes. I put away your groceries. I then come and snuggle and we watch like Housewives or The Bachelor, right? All about Bachelor Nation. And then at about 9:30, I leave. But this is what I do first.
I'm signing up for this service.
Right. Before I leave, this is what I do. I then go run a bath for you. I bring you some chocolate. I bring you some Lizzo music in the back. And then I leave.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm signing up.
Experience, right?
Yeah.
I'm in it. I think there's a subscription service in that.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I'm not sure how super legal it'll be, but we'll work on that for you.
They sign the paper before. So this is the problem is when they are my significant other, I make them sign the paper because there's a prenup because they ain't getting any of this. Mine,
right, yes.
That's theirs. So that's in that, and that's like a second piece of a non-disclosure. So yeah. I got it.
Yeah.
So what about you? Talking about Thanksgiving, we haven't chatted. We took a week off and I missed you.
I know, I missed you too. Thanksgiving was, COVID-y. I didn't do anything on actual Thanksgiving. I was planning to meet with my immediate family, but then my brother and niece got sick. So, that canceled that.
Sick or COVID sick, Laura?
Well, my niece was using the hashtag in our text, hashtag normalize the cold 2020. So it was probably just, seasonal, but with it being COVID time, we rescheduled for Sunday and then just had a quick dinner on Sunday. Everybody wore masks. shoved a bunch of food into our faces really quickly and fine. Although I still have, I've got some leftovers in my fridge. I'm gonna have to purge through and have a really big like smorgasbord level lunch today, I think.
I love smorgasbords. I never, being
Yeah.
single now, I'm gonna have a little chicken, I have a pork chop, I have a sausage brat.
Yeah.
I am like all over little pieces on that. So I feel that. Matthew, what's up with you, my friend? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was the best Thanksgiving we've had this year, if that helps at all.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, no. So my wife's grandma moved in to the house behind us, and so we consider her part of our household, even though she's not part of our household.
Sure.
If we had a big enough house, we would all live together anyway. And so our Thanksgiving was very, very low key. Me and the three kids and the wife, and then grandma. Normally, it's a huge family affair. My family is about an hour north of us, but because of restrictions, we decided it would be best not to go. And so my wife makes pumpkin cheesecake, which is to die for. And it's one of the reasons I married her, which is fantastic. And we did the same thing. We'd never cooked the turkey before. Usually that was done by other family members. So she dove right in and it was wonderful. I have no idea how to carve a turkey. I just take the knife and start cutting off pieces of meat. This looks good. That looks good. So we decided that maybe that would be an opportunity for me to better my skills next year or look up a YouTube video or something like that.
Everything is on YouTube. Let me just tell you, everything is on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so nice. I was solo this year, so first holiday that I've ever spent by myself, ever. So, and it was okay. So it was my choice. As most know, Rocco ended up having surgery the day before he got neutered. So in order to, the cone was not a success. We tried the cone, so I couldn't leave him. So luckily, I cooked something very small for me, and then I had friends that stopped by and brought me little gifts of desserts. So it was nice. I had a friend that came over, and we had a great evening hanging out and watching TV. I got introduced. Here it is, to Schitt's Creek. Have you guys watched it?
Yeah, well, I'm not that far into it, so I can't judge either, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems
It's
very
good stuff.
similar to another show that's out right now that I'm absolutely addicted to. I'm not even gonna say it's my guilty pleasure because I don't care who knows that I watch it. But Filthy Rich. Are you watching it, Laura?
Mhm.
Oh my
I'm
God. So I'm
not, but I've heard other folks.
It's I love it. Like I sit on the couch, I eat my pretzel chips, I dip it in my little hummus, and I am in heaven. No pun intended. Okay. Matthew, have you seen it?
So I've heard of Schitt's Creek, but I have not watched it.
Okay.
Haven't got introduced to it, and I don't know Filthy Rich. Our guilty pleasure right now. I don't hate to admit this. I mock The Bachelorette. My wife will watch it, and I mock them, and so we spend that time together. And then we found Chicago Med, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
And so we like those med shows, The Good Doctor, Resident, stuff like that. So we like those. And
have you watched 911?
No, just the show 911.
Yeah, so it's going in its third season. Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is in it. It's a good one. They are a 911 operator. Jennifer Love Hewitt is also in it. And it's just a really good show. I really like it. Station 19 is another good one that you may like.
I'm writing these down.
No matter what. So, I mean, sometimes I pretend that I'm Meredith. I'm dark, I'm gloomy, I need my twisted sister. Can you tell I watch too much of it?
Grey's Anatomy is about all I watch. So
right, TV makes me smile. It makes me at peace. And something else that makes me at peace and that makes me smile is I'm gonna reach over real quick and I don't have it. I guess I thought I had it in my refrigerator, but I've received not one, but two cards from Mr. Firth. Right, so Matthew, why don't you tell us a little bit about, first off, let me rewind. Let's talk about you, right, and the
Right.
contact farmer and what that means. And then let's talk about this card aspect because I think it is an amazing piece. I know that I felt good when I've got cards, especially he sent me one, guys, with Rocco on it. Let me see.
Oh,
Now,
that's
mind
so
you, I had to
sweet.
rip the card because Rocco likes to take these off the refrigerator. Um, so there is one, right? And then this is my
Oh,
favorite. Oh, it's my Rocco. So it stays on
that's
my,
so wonderful.
and sometimes he'll take it down and I'll see it on the couch. I'm like, stop looking at yourself, Rocco. But it makes me feel good. And from what I understand, you can send cards anytime, anywhere, right? Because who doesn't
That,
like to get cards, especially in COVID when we can't physically touch people?
mhm.
Matthew,
So
the floor is yours. Let's talk, buddy. What's
the
going on?
best way to look at it is a card is a hug with a fold in the middle of it. So you can just, since we can't be close, I'm going to send you a hug in the mail. So the Contact Farmer is my brand that I'm trying to launch, that I'm working on launching. It's fairly new and we've had some good success. What it is, and you know this, I help people create opportunities by developing relationships. So think about like the last time you had a job interview or anything like that. It's not who you know that matters, but it's how you're developing that relationship with who you know. I could know hundreds of people, but if they don't know who I am, if I'm not on their mind, then it doesn't matter. So as the Contact Farmer, I grew up on a small town in a small town in northern Utah, and I just been around farms. I know how plants work and stuff, and I thought what I want to do is introduce people a way to grow relationships by doing a couple little things every day, whether it's a text, whether it's a phone call, doing something to grow that relationship. And as plants grow, you can get seeds from them. You get opportunities, you get all sorts of things to not take advantage of, but mutually benefit from. And so the cards are what I am using right now to stay in touch. It's an app on my phone that I can import photos of Rocco. I just stole them from your Facebook page and was stalking you. And so I put them on a card, click send, and then I'm done. The card gets printed, stuffed, stamped, mailed from the company, and I don't have to do anything else. So last month, I've sent out 200 cards from my phone just to try and send hugs with a fold in it is what I want to
Hugs with
do.
a folder. Hugs with a fold. I
That's
love
awesome.
that. Now I gotta figure out this
You
nice
know what?
slogan. Like,
I love the card idea. So like this is literally just sitting right in front of me. It's just a card from a random person that listens to this other podcast that I listen to. And she just had a bunch of random cards and googly eyes and sent them out to some of us that also listen to the podcast. And we do a Christmas card exchange. And it's just, you're right. It's such a easy way, but to personally, very personally reach out and make a connection with somebody. And it is, it's always appreciated. That's such a wonderful idea, Matthew. You're genius.
it's so, when I got that in the mail, I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then when I opened up and saw Rocco. So listen, we all know that I'm a crier, right? Like, it's all good. I'm okay with that. I definitely got teary-eyed. Like, and here's another thing. It was like a week later, and I was walking in the store getting treats because as a dog owner, you can never have too many treats, right? So I have so many treats, guys. So I'm going there and I'm picking up these treats, and then I thought, oh my God, he got me a card. And then I started crying in the store because I thought, oh my God, Ethan was so thoughtful and got. So I'm sitting in the I'm sitting in the grocery aisle, picking up bones, crying. This woman who is probably 70, 75 comes up to me and goes, oh honey, did you just lose your baby? Like, oh no. My dog, because I'm like, no, I'm just happy. I got a card.
Well, and you think about most people now, they go out to the mailbox and there's just bills. And so a card is such a pleasant surprise. Laura, like you mentioned, even that card that they took it was a store-bought card. It makes a difference because it you can't print out an email. You can't hang up a text on the fridge, but this is something that you can hold in your hand and you have it sitting on your desk. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, that's
assuming
it.
that
And and I think especially right now too, with the pandemic, like you said, to do that extra step to reach out to people is even more, makes even more of an impression right now, because we are all so disparate and so separated from each other. I really think that, that's always been advice that I've gotten from folks on job interviews, is that after you have an interview, to just send a note, send a quick note, send a card. And so that's the same thing as what you're doing. And it makes all the difference in the world, that
Yeah.
personal touch.
Yeah, I always have a rule with that you said that, Laura. So that's a great piece, especially in that business world when people are out looking for jobs, right? Is you always want to follow up. So if I have an interview on Tuesday and I know they're making a decision by Friday, I minimally make sure that they get an email from me Wednesday afternoon or first thing Thursday morning. So now if they're not going to do it till like the next week, then I will wait typically until Friday going into the weekend. I'm sorry, in that case, if I didn't on Tuesday, I'd reach out on Wednesday and then I'd reach back out on Monday. In that situation, just again, keeping top of mind, because that's what interviews are all about at this point. We all have resumes right now, right? We're in 2020. Yeah. We all have resumes. They all look great and they're all padded to 4 pages, right? So what is going to really make you stand out and be top of mind? Another thing that nobody does in interviews.
Wow, Brian, like you just like really didn't have to call me out personally right there with padding it to 4 pages. Like, geez.
Well, listen, that's totally true. Depending on your job. Now, you are super educated, Laura, right? And you have experience upon experience. So sometimes you need to have that 4 pages, right? But if you're going to go grab a job at a Walmart or FedEx or something that something that they're going to train entry level, I couldn't think of the word. If you need something on that entry level, then those 4 pages are not going to be as needed, right?
Right.
So
exactly.
Don't listen. And I say this a lot to some of my friends. Don't be putting out that disclaimer, Laura, okay? You're too awesome to have a disclaimer on you. So Matthew, back to you, my friend. So how long has the contact, I gotta remember no R. How long has the contact farmer been around?
So it started officially at the end of July is when we branded that, got all the paperwork stuff taken care of. I've been doing the cards for almost 5 years now.
Oh, wow. Now, have you seen a increase and then like a decrease and a back up through the 5 years, depending on, so in 5 years, what have we really went through? That's been crazy. Okay, obviously we're not even gonna talk about this year because there's lots of things, but prior to that, Laura, talk to me here. You're the brain.
Oh yeah, I mean, the last 5 years have just been all crazy politically, domestically. There's been all types of in the past 5 years, there were those string of attacks in in Europe, from the terrorist attacks in Paris, the bombings at the UK, and the big center there. So yeah, there's been all types of sad things.
Have you seen an increase? Has anything dictated the rise or the more popular aspect of cards and physical pieces, especially with postage?
So from my standpoint, postage is just an added expense. I haven't seen a decline because of that. I mean, stamps have gone up a little bit, but it's just part of the card. But I've seen just a steady increase. This year, I'm on track to have sent out 3,000 cards in a year. So
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat that? You're looking to send how many?
So this year, I'm on track to send 3,000 cards.
So you have 29 more days.
Mm-hmm.
And how many cards do you need to send in 29 days to hit that goal?
90.
Okay. So here's a challenge out to you guys. Okay. This is what I need from you guys out there in good old podcast land. I need 10%. So I need 9 people to reach out to Mr. Firth and have him send a card to someone.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
9 people. That's easy. We have 29 days, 9 people. If I'm doing my math correctly, that's just about every 3 days that someone needs to contact you. Now, if I was going to contact you, how would I do that?
A couple ways you can contact me. Email is just thecontactfarmer @gmail.com.
Don't forget that's very important.
It's a little word, but really big. No. So The Contact Farmer, I'm on Facebook as well under The Contact Farmer. And I give out my phone number too. I don't mind that. Is that all right?
Yeah, give it out. I already put it up at rallies. I mean, so no.
Yeah. So my phone number is 435-452-2990.
Now, look, I'm going to be honest. I know that we are all lazy out there in this lovely world that we're listening to, and nobody wrote that number down, right? So this is what you can also do. Matthew, it can be reached at the C2 and More app, right? So if you download that app, you can text Matthew, you can call Matthew, you can send him an email, you can go to his website, you can go to his... That's how you can contact Matthew, okay? So if you did not write down that number, that's okay. But we'll make sure we get that information at the end of this show as well. And it will also be in the link. I'm not really sure where that link is going to be. So we're going to use all of them and we'll figure it out. So, well, awesome. Well, Matthew, I appreciate you kind of popping in here with us today, talking about your business as a whole. We're going to continue. I'd love for you to hang out. You cool with that?
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. So here we are. December 2nd, Laura.
I know today's 2nd. Today's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama.
Should we sing?
Oh gosh, no, not me.
It never comes through well on the Zoom side.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
that's
what it is.
How old is Mama? No, wait.
Oh gosh,
is Mama between the ages of 50 and 62?
60. No, she's a boomer, so she is 68. Yeah, 68.
Okay. I don't think I've ever met your mom.
I'm not good at math. I don't think. No, I mean, you probably did way back in the day in high school, but that would have been a little bit of time between now and
20
then.
years.
So
well, you're talking 20 years. So Matthew, if you don't know, Laura and I worked together back in the 1900s.
Wow, that long ago.
Yeah, I know, right? Like we were actually no, it was early 2000s. When we worked together, 2002 to be exact, because I started in February and then I got transferred over to the Alexa store in like October of that year because I traveled around and trained in Navarre. God, I miss that. I miss the camaraderie of a restaurant. I don't want to do the work. Right. But
exactly.
Right? I don't want to do the work anymore. I never had the opportunity to be friends with people I worked with. Unfortunately, I was super eager and I was always in management. And sometimes I couldn't dictate that relationship between employee and manager because I was young and I needed that. Like I had to be the boss. Right. And obviously they at times couldn't do that either. So I was never able to be friends with people I worked with after like I was 19, because again, I just got pushed into management. And I miss that because I remember being at Big Boy and, after work, we'd all grab pizza and breakfast and, BS. And I miss that. And you had that, Laura, at Bob Evans, because I remember being jealous of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hanging out in the break room and chatting and, getting together with people after work and whatnot. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
When I first got there, you guys flattened my tires.
I was going to say,
were you a part of that?
I didn't have anything to do with that. No, I had nothing. Would never.
When I left there 9 months later, everybody decorated my van with whipped cream and balloons. Anytime I went someplace new, they always screwed my car up. They would flatten my tires. They would egg it. They hated me because I got transferred to stores to fix them. I was good at my job. I was just too young for it at that time because I missed out. Yeah. It's like when that person is like super smart and they don't go through college, right? Like at 16, they miss out on that foundation. So I miss that. Matthew, have you done restaurant business work?
I've done it twice, actually. Did pizza delivery as my first job. And then a pizza delivery 5 or 6 years ago, just kind of making ends meet a little bit better. But it was interesting, the experience before when I was younger with less experience. And then when I'm older and I just don't care. I enjoyed the people, but I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I would go back if I don't want to be a manager, right? Like I want to be to go in and scoot back out. I would go in and be like a busboy. I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do
Right.
that. Listen, I remember, Laura, do you remember that guy? I hope he's not listening. He would, he was the busboy, and he would have a towel, and he'd take people's bacon and sausage. You remember him? And we,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and listen, he was
Although
not
I have to
like
say,
he did not
right,
need
I
the
have to
food.
say,
Like he had a
we did
paycheck.
do we did something similar when I worked at what was it? Oh, Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know if it's still the same, but the cake that would come with the birthday package when you would have, make a reservation and have like a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, the cake was so good. It was like an
Yeah.
ice cream cake, but most
Oh,
people didn't want them because they would bring their own cake, not
yeah.
realizing, and the cake was pretty small. So like they would say, yeah, people would be like, oh no, we don't need it. And then we would sit in the back and eat it. Or like if they did like, or if they only, oh gosh, this is so disgusting. I can't even believe I'm admitting it, but whatever. I was like 16. If they would only eat part of it, we would like cut off the parts where they like sliced off and then eat the rest of it. Like so ratchet, dude. I can't even
That
like,
is
right.
ratchet.
We didn't need, it's not like we were hungry.
Right?
We didn't have money. We were just like, oh, free cake.
Yeah. He was like free bacon and it's crispy.
Free
Like, why
bacon.
not? That is so
Right.
funny. I was chatting with my friend yesterday, and the zoo with COVID, they have to go before,
Make
right? And go
reservations.
online. So I've been like a zoo floozy. Can I say that? Like a zoo floozy? Like
Member,
I've been at the zoo.
member.
Yeah. I've been at the zoo lights like 3 times already. Like I'm just loving it. So this year, they might have started it last year, but I think they did it this year. Zoo lights are unlimited. So I can go as many times during the weekend and the week. Whereas before, you could only go during the weekday for free, and you got one visit with your membership on the weekend. So
Ah.
Matthew, if you don't know what we're talking about, we have a zoo here, right? And I think we've won many years with the best zoo in the world with lights. I mean, millions upon millions. They start putting out lights like in June for
Wow.
a November 20th-ish display.
Yeah.
So this year, they because of COVID, you have to register before, and it's very selective when you get in, which is really nice, Laura, because there's like you're not bumping into
Yeah.
people. You know how that is.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I went on the first day,
Me
so it
too.
was super crazy. Yeah.
Oh, it was
But
fun. I didn't get
I'm
there till
actually
7, and it was easy.
yeah,
I
see,
like that
we
7
were there
o'clock.
at 6. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going tomorrow at 7 with some friends. So I'm hoping
Nice.
it'll be less chill, and it'll
Yeah.
be a Thursday too.
Yeah, I'm going on Friday with Susan and Jackson, and then I have a date there on Sunday that we're going. So it's an amazing piece. And so as I was saying, so I was getting there, and I have my membership, right? I have my kids, and I have my wife. Well, they never put my person with me as a family, right? So I'm like,
Um,
okay, so now that I'm online, I am just I'm bringing a friend in, right? So we chuckled, and she's like, what if they ask for an ID? Here is what I suggested. So when they say, "Can I see your ID?" she's going to get her ID, but she may sneeze on it. They're not going to touch and look at that ID because of COVID. So we're going to get in. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
It's the
So
new
I
way.
don't
It's
think
the
they'll
new way
check
to
I
it.
go to the
smuggle in.
table, sneeze on your ID. Okay, that's my best bet.
Wow. Wow. That. But
Have you
you're
guys
right.
ever
They're
cheated
not
the
going to
system
check.
to get in? Like brought candy to a movie theater, right?
Yeah.
Have you been in a trunk at a drive-through? This is like put your hand down.
Yeah. We do the movie theater. We'll take. My wife had a big purse, and we load up what we wanted, and
Right.
yeah.
So this is what I do. I bring all the candy. It is in my sock. It is in my pants. It's under my hat. Like I will bring the boxes of candy. I buy the drinks and the popcorn there. I have supplied you with enough of a profit that I'm okay with bringing the candy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
there is
for
something
sure.
to be said about the movie popcorn, though. That's one thing I really miss with COVID is
Yeah.
not being able to go to the movies and just drown it in popcorn and in butter.
I'm wondering how much
Oh,
they're losing out in the movies. Like really.
Oh, so much. I used to stop at the movie theater by my house and just buy popcorn and take it home and watch movies at home. You can do that. They do look at you very strangely if you do it, but you can do it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Yeah.
Blockbuster? Like
Oh my
when you
gosh,
used to
right?
go on a Friday night and be like, you'd be like waiting for someone to bring a movie back, like every 5 minutes. Is that movie? Is that movie?
So this might be a weird thing, but do you know there's only one Blockbuster left in the world?
That's
Mhm.
not. Yeah, I mean, they really started shutting them down 2004, 5, 6. I was in
Th-
Michigan when they started, kind of like they did with Kmart. Like they were all there, and then one day you woke up and they weren't.
Yeah.
there's whatever they did. This one place in Bend, Oregon, they are the
Mhm.
last official Blockbuster in the world, and
Oh
I
wow.
guess you can do it as kind of not as a bed and breakfast, but you can go spend the night, sleep in the between the aisles.
Oh, huh. I
It's
was
weird.
looking at
That's kind of cute.
that is
Mhm.
cute. I like that the zoo does that. So you can go and you can sleep in the zoo,
Yeah.
right? In the aquarium, in the safari. It's like $125 a person. And you get to go behind the scenes at night and they have a breakfast in the morning. That's super cool. What else do they have?
You can do that at Fifth Third Field too with groups.
Oh,
They'll let you, like, I know Boy Scout troops do that all the time, and
oh,
they'll spend the night in the baseball field in downtown Toledo. I think that, like, I wish you could find, like, sign up adult groups to do that, because I think that would be super fun. Like, get a group of friends to,
right.
like, go out in downtown Toledo, like bar hop, and then you just camp out for the night
Well,
in
especially the
the
drinking
baseball
district,
stadium.
right? I mean, that's just
Yeah,
a whole
exactly.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be all right there. I think that would be fun.
This
Have
COVID
adult
thing is.
sleepovers.
Do you think it's gonna? Do you think it's gonna change come middle of February?
I think that we're just gonna have too much of a problem with people not wanting to take the vaccine. So I think we're gonna have to be using masks for probably the next 3 years. I think it's probably
Wow.
gonna take that much time to get enough people convinced to take the vaccination. I think, unfortunately, we've got a big problem with disinformation in the US, and that's going to be our main thing. So especially if you look at how people just don't want to wear masks now when the virus is raging. I think the people that have been responsible, we're probably going to be in these masks for a while. But the nice thing is, once you do get the vaccine out rolling, you can I think they'll be able to reduce some of the social distancing measures that they're telling people. And I did just get a thing this morning. Oh, I erased it. That the Pfizer vaccine has gotten approval in the UK. So
Oh,
that's the first one to actually get government approval, and that was Pfizer and they got approval out of the UK. So that's exciting. That we're moving forward.
that is exciting.
What's going to be interesting though is returning to work. People maybe that are zooming or not actually working in their office. How will that look like once things get moving forward?
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be interesting. Corporate America has learned a lot in the past 10 months about how responsible and adult-like their employees actually are, and how much money they can save having people work from home. So
Mhm.
I'll be interested to see if we get a good shift in what corporate and work environments are like here in the US
Well,
after this pandemic.
we all know that there'll be a decrease in wages, right? I mean, just everything in that aspect. But people are still paying maintenance buildings. People are still paying
Yeah.
rent on buildings that they're not utilizing. I mean, I think I might have said it earlier, but Taco Bell, I read maybe about 3 months ago, restaurants go through rebuilds, right?
Mhm.
Laura, you'll see it here at McDonald's. They just did one about 2 years ago. They all look brown now. They don't even, you pass them, you don't even know it's a McDonald's, right? Everything looks so cafe at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Taco Bell is cutting down their usage of their building. They're going from a 2,500 square foot down to a 1,250 square foot building.
Wow.
They're going to be
Wow.
utilizing bell hoppers that will come and deliver your food to your car. They're opening up
Ah.
a mobile spot in addition to the 2-tier drive-through. So if you're mobiling or apping, you're just going through to pick it up, which is kind of brilliant too.
Perfect.
So I
Yeah.
think we're going to see. I look at it as being like a rallies. You know
Yeah.
how those rallies are so small, or White Castles, and you're just, Sonic.
Mhm.
You're now pulling in. I bet you we get people roller skating back to your car. We're going to throw it
Nice.
back. I mean, that is
Yeah.
where we're really going, because again, people are paying for all this real estate that they're not utilizing.
Exactly.
I'm curious on the
Exactly.
productivity. Again, we hear all about, oh, it's cheaper, it's lower cost. I'm not doing this, I'm doing this, but really, what's the productivity looking like? Like, are they spending more time? I mean, I'm hearing horror stories. I have a friend that she literally, I've said she, I suck. They really measure the mouse. So she will get there and just move her mouse to make sure that
What?
it's there. Or I have another individual that they are 10 to 10:15 is your break. You got to be back in. I mean, they are putting measures in that we are finding ways to cheat. Like, they're making us cheat, which is going to defeat
Yeah.
productivity.
Right.
Like, just because we're
Exactly.
at home, you can't. Listen, here's my thing, and then and Laura, I want to hear your opinion, and I want to hear your opinion as well, Matthew. If you're at work in an office and you're supposed to do 5 a day, just because now that you're at home does not mean you could do 7. I mean, it
Right.
doesn't.
Right.
What's your guys' take?
Exactly. I think that there's you're right. The very paternalistic nature that corporate America has over their employees. It's like they can't, you recruit these people and you hire them and you talk about what a value they're supposed to be to the company, but then the way you treat them is you don't trust them. You don't, you don't let them utilize any of the skills of which you've hired them for and whatnot. So I do think that you're going to see. I can see how you definitely have the go one way or the other, like that really, really overly monitor people because you're worried about stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm just so cynical on capitalism that if they were losing a penny on this, everybody would be back in their offices right now. So I think that, for the companies that are still letting people work from home, hi Rocco,
Yeah.
they'll probably be staying that way.
He's in a playful mood right now, and he really likes my beard. He's like, yeah, he buries himself in it, and yep, there he goes. He's my boy.
What
No,
do you think,
I agree. I
Matthew?
think we're gonna. This is still scary. We're still in scary times. But I also
Mhm.
believe that we're gonna get some clarity come February 1st, right?
I think
So
so.
I
Yeah.
totally believe that by February 1st, there are going to be many things in place to make sure that 2021 is a little bit more structured and a little bit more observed.
Okay.
I'm
I think
looking
that's
and super excited to actually see what our country can do, because I feel like we've been
Oh,
in reactive mode for a number of
now
years.
I have a very important question that I need to ask
Okay.
before I feel like we're getting close to time. Matthew,
yes.
you have to tell me what's on your shirt, though.
Oh yeah.
So these are
Oh,
the Avengers.
Avengers. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So
Awesome. I was like,
my
I
wife,
couldn't tell. I was like,
my wife is a seamstress, and this is a shirt that she made, and she's made us a whole bunch of masks. We've got masks hanging all over the place. Matter of fact, if I can get it off, hold on. There we go. So this is one that she made.
cute.
That is cute.
So she just makes it like that. And so she bought fabric from The Office with characters of The Office on it. And that's going to be my absolute favorite mask to wear. So
I've never watched The
Yeah.
Office.
Oh my gosh,
I know,
Brian.
judge me.
but it's definitely an acquired taste. She doesn't like it. My daughter and I love it. And if I can make it work out, this is not to go back to anything, but I've sent cards to all of The Office cast thanking them for being wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Haven't heard anything back. So I try to send to celebrities. I've got about 350 celebrities I've sent cards to just to say thanks.
You need to send it to Kelly
That's
Clarkson.
cool.
She is struggling right now. Okay.
Kelly Clarkson.
Yes, my friend Kelly. Okay, I call her Kelly.
My
but
friend Kelly.
yeah, you may want to call her Miss Clarkson to you. Listen. So I met this woman like 15 times. Like, we are not friends. Let me just say that. Like, we're not friends. I met this woman like 15 times. When I worked for McDonald's, I sent her barbecue sauce, Chipotle barbecue sauce, while she was on tour. Well, anyway, she's struggling. You know, she's divorcing, right?
Mhm.
So just over the weekend, she was given primary custody of the kids. They have joint, but she got primary physical. And do you know what happened? He then shot back with $625,000 in spousal support and child support that he wants her to pay.
Wow.
He is his own person. Like, he is a manager. He's like, he has money. And why does he need child support when she is physical cut?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll send
honest.
her a card.
Who needs $625,000 to survive?
I'd like to give that a shot.
You
I'd
know,
like to see what I
Arby's
can
does
do.
$1 and $2 menu items between the hours of 3 and 5. Fix your eating schedule. Okay, that's what I got to say. Fix your eating schedule. 4 to 6. Freeze it. Okay, buy what you got to buy between 4 and 6 and freeze it.
That's life advice, people. Write it down.
This is
Write it down.
very
Just
valuable
because you
advice.
have it doesn't mean you need it.
Exactly.
Now, in saying that, I would want $625,000.
I'd like to give that
Exactly.
a try. I'd like to give
Really,
that a
who
try.
needs that? To say I need that to raise my child. I was raised on ramen noodle with some kielbasa in it.
Right, exactly. Especially when you think about how many people in America are struggling every day, and then you have folks like that. It gets very frustrating.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know, when I got my divorce, one of the wives, I won't say who, one of the wives asked for spousal support. We were married 62 days.
Wow.
Okay, Brittany.
That's what the judge said. With an emoji, right? No, I mean, it blows my mind. It just blows my mind. Like, really, why did you need 625,000? There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
What are you doing to that child? Like, what how are you
Right.
raising them?
They're buying them a
Right.
house every day.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just had 10% of that, 5%, 5%, that's all. I'm not greedy.
Mhm.
So
It's crazy. This world.
Yeah.
So we are kind of wrapping up here soon. What's going on this week? We are sliding. I feel like by the time we get into next week, we're going to be in the middle of the month, guys. I mean,
I know.
Christmas shopping. Are we done? Matthew, are you done Christmas shopping?
I don't know.
we're Amazoning everything, so it's beautiful. I love
Good.
it.
Laura, what about you?
I think I am, but it's one of those things, and this happens to me even when I'm normally a Black Friday in-person shopper.
Yeah.
So like doing this whole online thing was not for me. It was like I need to touch the things. I need to know if they're going to spark joy for the person I am getting them for. But I did do everything online, and so it's all been arriving the last few days, and so I have to like set it all out and make sure that I didn't forget anybody, because I've got the regular Christmas family, and then I've got some nieces and nephews who also have birthdays in January and December. So I always make sure that I've got twin niece and nephews. They their birthday is just like the week of Christmas, and I always feel bad. I'm like, it's not their fault that they were born this close to Christmas.
Totally.
So they
Totally.
get super spoiled from Aunt Laura. So I just have to make sure that everybody's balanced out correctly.
No, I get that. Holly, my former wife, Jackson Roberts' mama, her birthday is the day after Christmas. 1 second. Don't eat the remote. Hey. Sorry.
Things you never thought you'd say to your children.
Listen, so true. So true. The best one was, don't pee there.
Yep. And we don't know if that was Rocco or Jackson. That's the thing.
No, absolutely. No, we don't do that. so true. So
Yeah.
here's a dilemma that I'm in. So I'll take your advice. So I am officially been dating, right? And I'm in a dating thing that is getting somewhat serious, right? We're not committed. We may go that way, but we're still enjoying. Do we do things for Christmas? We're in that pocket right now. Like, do we do just a
No.
little something like fun? Nothing serious, right? But just a little.
What
Let
if
them know
what
that
if
I'm thinking, and let them know that I'm hearing some of the things that they like.
what if you just ask them and just say, hey, this might be a weird question. Are we thinking about Christmas? Is that something I can do to let you know that I like you and that I'm thinking about you?
I did that. I absolutely did that. We had that conversation. What do you guys think? So Laura, you said no, it's too soon.
I don't know. I'm not ready to go out there and put
I know you don't
myself
like
out there
people.
like
You're
you
not ready for
like you
people.
are. So well, yeah, I'm not on the same level. So like my reaction is like, they've been there for a few days. Why are you gonna give them a present? But I understand that you're more open to the experiences right now. You can't go wrong with flowers,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, I get that. It's
even
always hard,
something little
like when
like
do
that.
you, if you are dating someone, when do you do that? Like if you start in October, you're really hitting that zone, right? In 3 months where you're like, okay, now I really got to decide, what do I do? What kind of gift do I buy? Right? Do I put a
Yeah.
dollar amount on it? Is it something more sentimental? And more importantly, one of the questions I always ask is, 1 second, Rocco, thank you, but no thank you. One of the questions I always ask is, that dog, is if we break up tomorrow, am I going to be mad that I just did this? Right? Like, is it
Right.
okay? Can I afford this? Or is it going to have some type of repercussion?
Well, so
Yeah.
can I say this?
Yeah.
My wife and I met on Halloween. Our first date was on a Halloween. We went out to eat. She was much farther along in the relationship than I was. For Christmas, I was prepared to spend a couple of dollars and give her a Tampa Bay Lightning calendar. I thought she would. We went to a hockey game as well. She made me a quilt with tractors on it.
Oh.
So had I have continued through with my brilliant strategy here, fortunately, we got serious before Christmas, and I ended up getting her Phantom of the Opera tickets. But had I have gone with my original plan, she was going to get me a handmade tractor quilt, and I was giving her a lightning calendar that I found in the grocery store aisle I was checking out.
But listen, here's the thought, is that you were thinking, hey, I've been in this relationship for 2 months. I want to show something of some gratitude and appreciation and let them know that I'm showing up and that I'm present. So
yeah,
whether or not, I mean, we had the same conversation last night about gifts, because they do not like gifts. They don't like getting gifts. They like giving, but they don't like getting. And I'm a giver. Like, define that joy. And then everything they say, I put in the back of my head, right? And I'm like, oh, they like that. They like this. So how can I, I love to make people cry when they open gifts. Okay, like that is the best. So after you're frustrated from opening my gift, because I'm also the guy that puts something this big in a box, in a box, in a box, right? That's me. Like every gift is like homecoming, prom, date me, come to me moment, right? So that's who I am. So Laura, you say no, don't buy a gift. I'll send you a card. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Don't buy a gift. Send a card.
Perfect. There you go.
See?
There you go.
It always comes
Brings
back.
it all back around.
So what's your week look like, Matthew? We're heading into, like I said, the middle of December come next week. What's your holiday season look like?
Right now, very low key. Just like I said, finishing up Christmas shopping through Amazon for the kids and everything. And we're going to keep it in the house. We're not going up to travel again. And that's okay. It's a little bit frustrating. I love the big, huge Christmas stuff, but that's not going to happen this year. And it's okay. It's not the worst thing, but it'll be going into this week. Just sending a couple cards here and there. Maybe see if Kelly will respond. I don't always get responses, but we'll see if Kelly
tell
responds.
her that Brian sent you. Okay.
I will write that on there.
Because listen, as serious as I may or may not be getting with this person I'm dating, I am still holding out to be Mr. Clarkson. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I won't even hyphen my name. Okay, I'm just taking it. Okay, and I may or may not even go and legally change it, even if we don't connect. Okay, Laura, what about you? What do you have going on?
I've already got my holiday decorations up. I am working on getting the presents are coming in. I gotta go. I do have to get wrapping paper, so I've
Okay.
got to make a trip out and get wrapping paper and
Where are you
just
going?
get
Because I need wrapping paper too. Any deals?
I like to go to Target. Target always has the cutest wrapping paper. Plus, they always have the ones that have grid on the back of the
Oh,
paper.
nice.
That like Kohl's usually has cute paper too, but they'll sell you the cheap ones that don't have the grid on the back, and I just don't. I can't handle
Yeah.
that. So
I always
I
use too
just
much
got
paper.
yeah. So I've just got the wrapping and general getting ready. And I think we're just going over to Dad's house on Christmas Eve and have Mom over on Christmas Day, and that'll be that.
Nice.
COVID-y Christmas.
Brian, what about you? You didn't say what you were doing.
So my goal is to maybe go home Christmas Day to PA. With that being said, I may hang out here. I mean, I'm typically sorry, he was holding my finger. My holidays are usually with Susan and her parents. I mean, we've been hanging out for 20 over years now, so that's not going to change just because we're divorced, right? We're still a family. So I'm very fortunate in that situation that I always have that invite. So I know we'll do Christmas Eve there with Jackson, and then I drop him off at home. And then Christmas Day, right now I have no plans. The plan that I do know is that it'll be Rocco and I. So whatever we do, we'll go someplace. I'm sure I always get invites. I mean, I have the best friends. At the end of the day, they show up, and they sometimes even when they don't need to, right? Which is pretty awesome to be able to have that support system. So as of right now, I don't have anything concrete. It just depends on what's going on and maneuvering around. But are you offering to have me come over to your house, Matthew? I'll go to Utah.
Sure. Absolutely.
Plane tickets are probably really cheap right now.
They are, and yeah, absolutely. You're more than welcome to come.
Okay.
Hop on a plane. We'll see you.
Okay. Send me your location, and I'll see how far it takes me to get there, and
Excellent.
I'll Forrest Gump it. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, listen, we appreciate your guys' time and energy today with connecting communities and more. With that being said, we will be back next week with another special guest. We have some big news going to be announced next week, so I'm going to hold off right now regarding our winter season and our agenda with going into our winter season. So that will be announced a little bit next week. Also want to make sure we thank our sponsors, right? Because without you folks, we would not be able to hang out and do what we do here. So we have Justin Anus with Remax Preferred, right? So if you need that good old home sold, or you need that home bought, I guess sold and bought is the same thing, right? If you need to buy or you need to sell, probably could have just said that. Then that is the person that you're going to want to reach out to. We also have Ryan Kane with Strategy Solutions. We have Elite Bookkeeping Plus with Tony Wood and her team there. So we have a vast variety of individuals. Also, Stratus Building Solutions, where we can take care of your commercial needs as well with that. Last but not least, we cannot forget Primerica with good old David Dittman as well. So again, we appreciate our sponsors. We appreciate you hanging out with us today, Matthew. And I'm even more excited because for folks don't know, Matthew and I are going to hang out tomorrow on a one-on-one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm excited.
One-on-ones are where the relationships are built. Right? In your networking meetings, it's where you meet the folks, but it's just that introduction. Now you've got to plant the seed. You like that? Yeah.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
I see you. Laura, what do you got going on this week? Anything with school or your lovely? I don't know if you know Matt, but she also has a podcast that is all about Toledo and some of the things that are happening.
I do, yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this is actually my last week of classes, and then next week is exams. So wrapping that up, just about 3 15-page papers and 2 projects to do. It's fine. between now and next Friday. Don't worry. I've started 0 of it. It's fine. Don't worry.
Now, when will you start that, Laura? When will you start it?
Today.
Okay.
Today.
Are you a crammer? Like, do you work well under pressure?
For writing papers, yeah. Some of the other projects I'll start working on because I can't just like BS words. I have to like actually do things. So but if it comes to a paper, I can BS that pretty quickly.
Got
So
it.
but I'm gonna try to not do that in my first semester back in school in 10 years. So I'm gonna try to be a good student and actually put some more effort into those. But
Look,
yeah, I've got Toledo Talk. Oh, go ahead, Matthew.
I was just going to say, what are you going to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, actually, we were just talking about this in my group chat with my cohort mates. I'm going to school for public administration. So to work for government agencies, doing like policy analysis, stuff like that. But we found a TikTok yesterday from the Ohio Department of Transportation about how they are getting prepared for, the first snowstorm in Ohio of the season. And I was like, oh my gosh, can that's what I do with my master's degree is just make TikToks for government agencies? Is that what we're gonna be?
I love
Nice.
your TikToks. Let me just say, for folks that are TikToking, please don't follow me. I'm inappropriate.
Yeah, so we've got Toledo Talks I do Toledo Talks episodes on Tuesdays and Fridays. You can find those on Facebook at Toledo Talks, all one word. Also on Instagram and Twitter, Toledo Talks, all one word. And you can download the podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, all the places.
Awesome. Well, listen, again, thank you so much for connecting with us today. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you, Matthew, and Laura. I can't get enough of you either. So otherwise, folks, have a phenomenal week. Make today the Friday-est Wednesday you've had this month. We appreciate your time. Be safe. Bye.